Good afternoon. It's Saturday. I was kind of lazy today. Well, really not lazy. I just stayed in bed longer and I'm not going to do my exercises today. I might get out for a walk. I don't know. But, just really just resting and just taking time out for myself. I did work Friday. Um, and it's still a lot for me. I know it's only a 6-hour shift because I do have a lunch and I usually try to do about a 40-minute lunch. So it's 6 minutes or 6 hours and 5 minutes that I do work. Um, it went okay last night. And I was reading in my Bible a little bit this morning, doing other things. I was looking at emails and reading news and stuff. But I want to read something out of Second Kings. It's chapter 6. And I'm just going to read the verses 1 through 7. And the title is An Axe Head Floats. The company of the prophets said to Elijah, "Look, the place where we meet with you is too small for us. Let us go to the Jordan, where each of us can get a pole, and let us build a place there for us to meet." And he said, "Go." Then one of them said, "Won't you please come with your servants?" "I will," Elijah replied, and he went with them. They went to the Jordan and began to cut down trees. As one of them was cutting down a tree, the iron axe head fell into the water. "Oh no, my lord," he cried out. "It was borrowed." The man of God asked, "Where did it fall?" When he showed him the place, Elijah cut a stick and threw it there and made the iron float. "Lift it out," he said. Then the man reached out his hand and took it. So that's all I'm going to read. I did before look up commentaries. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember all that was said. I just thought it was a really good piece in the Bible. Like this man that borrowed the axe head was very concerned when he lost it. He wasn't planning on losing it. I don't know. I just feel like I think in my spirit, it's just speaking about how we care for things. Whether they're our own things or we borrow things, and do we treat them the same as if it's our own? Like, would you borrow somebody's vehicle or borrow a dress or whatever it is and treat it well because you know that it's somebody else's and you want to bring it back to them with care? Or would you not care because it's not mine, so it doesn't matter? And then if it is yours, how do you treat your things? How do you treat your home? How do you treat, your household? It's just some thoughts. I don't know if that's what this passage is saying. I really will go and look up commentaries again, and maybe I'll do another video on what this means. I might not. Maybe this is something that you can check out. You can get on Google and commentaries for anything, really. But I often will. I'll share some stuff. I still do have dyslexia, but I had it very severe when I was a child. And I don't really remember, like if things were backwards, but just things didn't make sense. And I did end up going to like a doctor twice a week. I don't know if I've shared about this before. And it really made a difference. And I know that my parents were praying about it. And I really do feel like between the doctors and the prayers that God did heal me from this learning disability. I still do have it. I still have trouble pronouncing things. I can look at a word and maybe to you it makes sense. Easy words, no, but things that are harder, like in the Bible, there's names and things, and I really don't know how to pronounce them. Like just looking at them doesn't help. I don't know if I just never made the connection with all of the different sounds and stuff. I remember in 6th grade, it was my favorite teacher, Mr. Hill, and we had a parent-teacher conference, and me and my mom went. And I think at the time I didn't have glasses. And after that, we went and, got checked, and I had to have glasses for reading. And I was kind of embarrassed. I didn't want to wear them. But he encouraged me and I would wear them during studies. But anyways, at this parent-teacher conference, he, shared some of my work and just, was such a wonderful teacher. But anyways, he really cared about his students. He cared about us personally. And he really showed that. We would have group talks and stuff every day at school, and it was 6th grade. And I know, here I am rabbit trailing. I couldn't pronounce the word, didn't know what the word was, Chicago. And I feel still to this day like, wow, how did I not know? But anyways, he had me do some readings and stuff. And he wasn't, I didn't feel judged. He just wanted to help me and he wanted to show my mom. And I really didn't know the word Chicago. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I obviously know how to pronounce it now. And when I see it, I know it. But I'll never forget that this teacher took the time out for me, but for all of us. And he only stayed half a year, and it was really hard for him. We would have these group meetings, and we'd all sit around in our chairs in our classroom. We did a lot of other stuff too. We'd go outside and just do some really fun experiments and stuff. I still remember exactly what he looked like. I have a picture somewhere. But anyways, I think I had probably a crush on him. Maybe just because he was so kind and so in tune. But he had to leave. It was a hard decision. He sat with us and talked with us and said, this is really difficult for me. And I don't really remember the whole, why. But yeah, he was there only half the year and he came back for our graduation. But then we got a teacher, and her name was Miss Lowe. And you know how sometimes names will fit a person? Sometimes they don't. This one really fit her. At least that's how I felt. I mean, compared to Mr. Hill and this new teacher, Miss Lowe, her mannerism was not, it was night and day. It was nothing like him. And I get it. She's stepping into this place to fill the rest of the year. And I don't know what was going on in her life, but she was older and she was just kind of like there to teach, and she didn't do the groups and she didn't do all of the things that, I really liked. I think being in 6th grade is really hard. And then you're heading into the, middle school and stuff. And so I just remember just really feeling down, low, during that last part of the 6th grade. Just feeling like I had a teacher that I really connected with, and he connected with the whole classroom. He didn't leave anybody out. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if you were fat or you were short or you were tall or you were, you felt ugly or you had, pimples or whatever it was you were going, things that were happening in your life. He didn't judge you. And because of that, we weren't judging others. We were getting along. We were, kind of a little community, and we got to do fun things. We built these airplanes with the balsa wood, and cutting it out in measurements. And I wasn't good at it, but I remember being so proud of myself to just keep doing it and continue, and I made it. And I have another story to that. I ended up sitting on mine. It was an accident. I had brought it home. I was so excited and, showed everybody in my family. And I had set it on my bed. And for whatever reason, I forgot that it was on my bed and I sat on it and squished it. I don't believe I got another one. And I think it was like a Japanese airplane. I really don't know. My ex-husband's really good at knowing airplanes, and, he could hear them and helicopters and things. And like, he would know what they were because he did that in the military. He worked on helicopters. Chinooks and different things. Maybe I'm getting what he worked on wrong. But yeah, when you work with something and you just can hear it, like I knew the cries of my children. But anyways, getting off topic, I just really appreciated what this teacher meant to me, and how he treated everybody. And I really did miss him. And yet maybe I wouldn't have thought so much about him had he not left. And maybe that does pertain to this story, losing something that matters to you. And sometimes you have no control over what you're losing, whether it's your diamond ring that you lost down the sink, or you lost something on the way home or didn't get it at the store. I have, left stuff or lost stuff that I thought, I bought and it's in the bag and now I can't find it. And then maybe it shows up in the car later. Or you lost your headphones and then they're somewhere else. They're at somebody's house, or they're in the car, or they're somewhere. But how do you feel when something is lost? Whether it's something you borrowed from somebody or it's your own stuff. Do you feel more upset when you borrow something and you lose it? Or are you more upset when you lose your own stuff? Or is it equally? I don't want to lose my stuff. I don't want to lose somebody else's stuff. For me, I always felt like how I was raised, that you would go somewhere and you would want to leave it nicer than than it was. So like if you stayed at somebody's house, you wouldn't just leave it in a ransack. You would make sure it was nice. And maybe not all people think that way. If they're going to a hotel, they're like, the people can clean it up. Or you go to a fast food place and you leave your food on the table and you think, whatever. I really don't have that mindset. And I feel like I was raised to be considerate and thoughtful. I now work in the evenings and I clean the apparel section, the clothing section. And so many people just ransack it. They go through and they just pull this out and pull that out. And I'm not saying, they should just keep it so clean that I don't have anything to do, because that would really be boring. But also just being thoughtful. Hey, I looked at this and I don't know where it goes, and they could hand it to me. Or, that's why we have the fitting room. They try stuff on and it can be put there and then we can put it back. But when they're like unfolding shirts and different things, I know you need to look for, your size and different stuff. I get that. I like to look. I'm a person that wants to touch and do that. But it's just oftentimes it will be a lot, jeans will just be wrinkled up or shirts will be all over the place. And some nights we don't have enough people. And some nights I'm just the only one on the floor, depending on who can show up and whatnot. And it does make it more difficult to recover the whole store. I usually cannot do the whole store. I can look at all of it and try to, hit places that look bad. I'm really good at seeing flaws, which I don't really necessarily like because I can see flaws in myself and see flaws in everybody else. And I really don't like that, because I feel like that's part of a critical spirit and a judgmental spirit. But, as far as like when something's out of place in my department, I can kind of quickly see, and I can fold those few jeans or fold those few shirts and maybe not hit the whole area, but I can see that something's, mishung or whatever. And so that's real helpful for me to help it look good, or maybe give it an appearance of looking good if I can't get everything done. And maybe this has nothing to do with this story in the Bible in 2 Kings, but I really like this story. And I kind of want to go back and look up some commentaries on it and just kind of understand better what that means. I feel like the person was very concerned that he had lost the axe head, and it was borrowed, and that concerned him more. And honestly, who did he borrow it from? Maybe it shows something a little bit before or after, maybe not. There was another story before that I actually opened up to. I won't read anything about it, but it is about Naaman, healed of leprosy. I'll just briefly say, because I really do like this story, that Naaman kind of, he was in a situation. He had leprosy and he needed to be healed. So like back in the day, that was like you don't hang out with leopards. They're outside. They are not treated like, nobody wants to get it. And so I believe it is something that you can get from a person. And that's something I could also look up. But anyways, he was really not grateful. In fact, he was angry about how he was going to be healed. He wanted it to be like fantastic. He thought, well, what? You just want me to go dip in the Jordan? I believe it was the Jordan 7 times and I'm healed. He was mad about that. He wanted it to be spectacular. And that's not what happened. And maybe that's something in your life. When something happens, maybe it doesn't seem miraculous. Maybe it seems just mundane. Maybe it's just not what you wanted. Maybe just in your life in general, maybe not even talking about miracles. You just feel like it's not a Disneyland day. It's not it's not the Olympics. It's not whatever. Like everyday life is just kind of like, what? It's just like, I want it to be, sparkling. I want it fantastic. And it's not always. Our day-to-day can be mundane. Our day-to-day can be a little boring. Our day-to-day, might not be as exciting as we would like it. Maybe we're not laughing a whole bunch. Maybe we're not feeling joy or happiness, or we need something to, trigger it or whatever. I don't know. But I just thought that it was so strange that this man, has leprosy and he needs help. He needs healing because he wants to fit into society. He wants to go do stuff. And yet when he gets the answer, he's like, I don't like this answer. What? Are you kidding me? I mean, he's angry about what he's told to do to be healed. Instead of being like, awesome, I'm going to go do this because I really want to be healed. I don't want leprosy anymore. I look like a freak and nobody wants to talk to me. And yeah, it's been a bummer. But no, instead of just, and is there pride involved in that? Yeah, maybe. So I would suggest, if you also want to read, it's 2 Kings chapter 5. And it's really good. It's not really that long. And then right after that is chapter 6, and that's the axe head floats. Little tidbit there. And then there's more stories within chapter 6, which I didn't read, that you're welcome to read or not read. You can do your Bible app, and oftentimes I will, and I'll just turn it on and listen to it. I'll read it in my Bible. And I am definitely, when I get off here, I'm going to look up some commentaries on the axe head, and maybe even, look at the story about the leper, because those are really interesting stories to me. And as to why someone would be like, no, I don't want it this way, so I don't want healed. This isn't how I thought it would happen. And I think in life, if you stop and think about certain things that maybe you decided not to because it wasn't what you wanted, I think of examples of stories or like little, I don't know, I'll probably see them on YouTube or maybe just read about it. For an example, there's somebody, and I may have said this before in my videos, I apologize, but it just came to my thoughts. Your house is flooding, maybe from a hurricane, maybe from whatever, and you're up on your roof and your dog's up there with you and you're like praying to God. Maybe you're praying to God, maybe you're not. And you need help. And you're just like, I really need help because my house is almost underwater and I'm on the roof. And so, a boat comes by and this guy's like, get in, hey, right on. And you're just like, no, I'm good. I'm waiting on God and whatever, or I'm waiting for something else. And, then a helicopter comes by and they're like, hey, climb up the ladder. We can get you and we'll get your dog too. No, I'm waiting for this. I'm whatever. And then a cruise ship comes by and, you're still like, hey, but like, here's your sign. You had 3 opportunities. Maybe they weren't what you thought they would be. Maybe you wanted it a different way. But meanwhile, the water is going up and up and you're going to like be in the water and hopefully you and your dog can swim. But bottom line is you really did have answers come, whether you were praying about them or just sitting there thinking, or you thought it was luck. But it wasn't what you wanted. You didn't want the boat. You didn't want the helicopter. Maybe you're afraid of heights. Maybe you're afraid of the water and you don't want to get in the boat. Or, here's a cruise ship. Maybe you've never been on a cruise ship and you think, wow, that's not for me. But meanwhile, you do need help. You need to get off the roof or you're going to be swimming in the water and it's cold. And I don't know, maybe you don't know how to swim, like I said. And so I guess what I'm getting at is sometimes help comes in a way that we might not like. We might not like how it happens. We might not like how the help comes. Maybe our pride is in the way. Maybe we're independent and we can do it ourselves, whatever the reason is. And I think this is for me too. I think, I'm still struggling with receiving because to me it's foreign. I am a giver. I am an encourager. And so I don't feel like I get a lot of things, and I'm not trying to be rude or hurtful to anybody that knows me, but I typically don't, I'm a giver. I'm the one that does the stuff for people. I'm the one that helps. And so that's, again, the season that I feel like God has put me in, to receive from others and to ask for help and things. And yet, I still can ask for help for things, and that doesn't always happen, and that's okay. I don't have a vehicle right now. I am not a mechanic. I don't have money to fix my truck. I don't have money to fix another vehicle that could work for me, possibly. And I don't have money to go buy a vehicle or even, excuse me, I'm going to drink some water. Or possibly, get a vehicle and owe money on it, make a payment. So those aren't really options for me. So yeah, I am receiving help to get to work. and get home. And I really do appreciate that help. So I'm going to end this. I know that, excuse me, that I went kind of roundabout and talked about a lot of different stuff. Like I said, this is kind of the way my mind works. I'll think of something, read something, and that kind of triggers a thought. I don't know how your brain works, but just wanted to share, and I might get on a little bit later. I think I swallowed wrong or something. But anyways, I hope you do have a good Saturday and a good weekend. If you like my videos and you watch them all the way through and they are your cup of tea, or maybe they're not, that's totally up to you. I am improving. I'm working on them to try to give good content and share, my thoughts and my journey, and get in the Word of God to share these, really good stories. There's so many. But anyways, if you do like my videos, you can subscribe and like and share, and leave a comment. I was watching a couple other videos from other channels, and I really do enjoy. I enjoy hearing people's perspective, kind of what they're going through and their journey on being a new YouTuber and then getting monetized and different stuff. I don't know that my channel will get monetized. I don't know that I'll ever make money. I'm not trying to send a negative vibe out, as in, or be a downer, because anything is possible. I think that I could earn money if I get enough subscribers. You need, a certain amount, and enough watch hours. Then you get, monetized, and you can get the AdSense and stuff. And that's how you can earn money. You can also do, ebooks and different things. I don't know that I'll go that avenue. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of keep doing this and showing up and sharing my story, and bumps in the road. And, I don't know, maybe this is boring for you. Maybe you don't have 20 minutes to watch something. I get that. That's cool. But I just wanted to share. I wanted to get on here, and I'm probably going to go have some lunch. I'm thinking, I haven't really had eggs in a while, so I think I'm going to do fried eggs and bacon and sourdough toast. And then I'm probably going to watch more Lord of the Rings. I'm in the second one, the second part. So I hope you have a good day. And if I do go out for a walk, if it's warm enough, maybe I'll do some more filming, recording. If not, I will see you tomorrow. And if not Sunday, I will be back Monday for sure. So enjoy your Saturday. Have a good day. Blessings.